Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Got my water. I've been talking a lot because I made a lot of videos today. That tune, Sourwood Mountain, which is pretty near Cripple Creek, too, is one of the first licks that I learned how to play that I was so excited to learn that. And I played it for hours. I must have driven everybody around me crazy because it was the first one that sounded so banjo-y and cool and everything. And that was way back in about 1987. And I wanted to give you a little, expose on how I learned to play. I bought an Autoharp, put it on layaway, and I remember I picked it up from the store on April 12, 1987, I think. And so I always consider that my Autoharp birthday. And started to play melody like the second day or something. I didn't even have an electronic tuner yet. Back then, electronic tuners cost about $60, and I didn't have the money. So I would sit at my piano, and I'd go ding, and I'd tune the harp. And I was bringing piano skills in already, and I knew how chords were made, so I knew what was the notes that were in all those buttons on my harp, which was a huge advantage that helped me to play melody. And I could take some of the tunes that I knew how to play on the piano that had real basic chord forms, and I could play those basic chord forms, and I could see how and where the melody notes were in relationship to those. And so I started playing melody in just a few days. I was playing down flat, and then after a few days, I turned the whole Autoharp upright, and I continued to play upright, and that's what I still do now. Although you've seen some videos of me playing down flat, and I think that that's a great way to play, and one day I might play that way all the time. But the other thing that I did was I picked up this book. This is Meg Peterson's Complete Method for Autoharp or Chroma Harp. The Meg Peterson book. This is still in print, folks. This particular one, $9.95. And I don't know, I think these days it's closer to $25. But this book taught me, I'm not going to say everything I know, but those 4 strums that I teach in my videos, rocker and scratch and Travis and arpeggios, they're all from this. And I've actually marked exactly where they are so that I can show you that, because this is what I learned from. Now, not everybody can learn from notation. This is a notation book. It's got notes in it. Don't let that daunt you, though. Now, it also she has this system of arrows that mean upward slashes and downward slashes and everything, and that's called tabulature. And I didn't really use the tabulature except in those few lessons where I was learning the strum shapes, and then I did use them. There's some places in the book where I guess they weren't proofread quite right, or something. The editorial wasn't there, and so it's not a perfect system, and I don't advise this book for those things except in those basic strum areas. And so I would, it's worth to pick this book up anyway, because it's a book that is written, it's for Autoharp, and all the songs in it are in Autoharp keys, and they're all oldie moldies, in the sense as all Autoharp books are pretty much public domain material. It has to be, because otherwise if this was all like contemporary material, this could cost $50. But it gave me these basic techniques like I teach in my series that then I could take and plug in to play the contemporary stuff that I wanted to. And I did do contemporary stuff. I did Traffic, and I did lots of Grateful Dead, and I did the Beatles, like lots of Beatles, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Joni Mitchell, and these other things. My tunes, my my people, and the stuff that I liked to listen to and sing and play. I learned after I learned those basic techniques, and that's how I learned to do it. So this book, I mean, let's see what the first tab that I have marked here. Okay, so the first tab here, this is on page 21. So she's going T, 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 I, T, 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 I. And what is T, I? That's rocker. T, 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 I, T, 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 I. So that's where that first strum came from. And then she actually calls it a rocker strum later when she's using it in blues. Da, 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 da. So then, what's here on the next tabby? A few pages later, most of them came out of the early part of the book, holding the harp Appalachian style. But then down here, she's got photos of her going brush out, brush in. That's scratch. Chukka, boom, chukka, boom, chukka, 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 boom, chukka, boom, chukka, like that. That's where that came from, folks. So I met Meg Peterson. She actually was at a California Autoharp gathering that I went to, and I met her, and I was kind of fanboy. I told her that Autoharp changed my life, and it did. And I said I owe it all to her. That she taught me how to play from her book, and how much I appreciate it. Let's go on and see what else we got. What's next? The Carter lick. This is proper scratch. This is boom chukka, boom chukka, boom chukka, boom chukka, and she shows that whole thing right here, the thumb, and then out, scratch out with the finger and back with the finger. This was awesome. This changed everything. Enough people don't do this one, and they really should, because it's phenomenal, and it's what the Carter family used in their playing so much. And every guitarist learns it and struggles through and learns it. And so we should learn it on the Autoharp because it's awesome. Watch my videos on it, Carter Scratch, and you'll be glad you did. Awesome strum. Introduction to Travis picking. This is the other big one, and that's what I was playing when I was doing Sourwood Mountain at the beginning of this video. And here it is on page 42, folks. So this, just those basic strums. So this is a great book to pick up. And it's got tons of songs, even if you don't do the exact strums that she uses. They're all chorded out. There's a lot in here that's chorded for melody Autoharp. There's a lot that is not. But there's... Good book. Anyway, Meg Peterson's Complete Method for Autoharp and Chroma Harp. It's a good one. So, thanks for watching Stalking the Wild Autoharp. If you appreciate these kinds of tips for your playing, you could tip me by going over to Patreon and giving me a few bucks a month. You just set it up once, and then it's good to go. And I see that come my way, and I get all happy every month when I get a little deposit in my PayPal, which helps me to help you. So consider doing that. And if you want lessons from me, and I teach in the Hal Weeks way, which is largely due to Meg Peterson, but not entirely. You can come to me and I can give you one-on-one lessons right here in front of your own computer. And it does work, and lots of people do it now, and it's great. It's great because us Autoharp teachers are few and far between. And so you can meet with me and not even have to leave your house. So thanks for watching. And my Patreon is patreon.com/HalWeeks. And we'll see you around. Bye-bye.